Welcome to the lighter side of the dark side. It's your weekly freak show here on Renegade Radio and all podcast catchers, YouTube, everywhere. You know the deal. It's the Dark Mark Show. I am Dark Mark, the goth comedian. And as always, I'm going to flip the camera around. There she is, everybody's favorite horror writer, Nicole Sachs.
Good evening.
Hi, Nicole. How are you?
I'm good. I'm in a good mood. It's been a good day.
Oh, has it? Because for the second week in a row, and this is a long story, but I brought some wine. I brought some carnivore wine. And
2020, a good year.
There's more to the story.
Oh, but there's no corkscrew.
Yes, because I don't drink wine.
That's okay. You have a corkscrew at home for the ladies, and that's important.
Yeah, well, that was forced upon me. I was on a date, and I didn't have a corkscrew, so now I have a corkscrew, and I don't think I've ever used it, except for on that date.
Wow, we got to get some experience in on that corkscrew.
So to speak. So this is what happens when she's in with all comedians. So, Nicole, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
It is. I'm wearing orange eyeshadow. It is the season.
Is that Vampire Cosmetics?
It is Vampire Cosmetics.
Oh, good. And they've been in the news a lot lately.
They haven't. They're doing well.
Yeah, they're doing very well.
Yeah.
And we've got quite a month-long shows. Matter of fact, next week we're taping with a witch and a vampire.
Yes.
And we've got all sorts of our old and new friends coming up. And then that all leads to the live taping of my birthday, where we're going to throw a Yoo-hoo and absinthe party. And it's going to be quite fun.
If you're mixing the two together, you're going to throw up.
No, that's the new thing. That's the new internet trend. They say it's delicious. And I'm going to make sure you have a glass of that.
Oh, God.
Or at least a sip.
I'll try a sip.
Okay.
A glass.
Well, as every year I do, I post a thing on Facebook and other social media and say, hey, does anybody have any recommendations of guests that they would like on the show? And this person said, me.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'm trying to think. I think I've met you, and I think I've done a show with you, but I think it was a long time ago. But I'm going to turn the camera around to her because I keep putting it on her. But there she is.
Hey!
She is such a multi-talent. She's a Hollywood hyphenate, and we love Hollywood hyphenates.
Yeah.
She's an actress. She's a writer. She's a comedian. She's a podcaster. She's done it all, and she still does things, and she has horror meetups.
Damn.
Yeah, it's weird because you don't. For some reason, the creepy has come out of you because it's not always there. So, but she is.
It's there.
Yes, she's wonderful. She has a self-help book out. She has all sorts of. She's wonderful. Anastasia Washington.
Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for coming. We are being sponsored by Ray's Energy Drink. There it is, Ray's Energy Drink. I'm drinking it straight, so to speak, and Nicole is mixing hers with vodka, which it mixes well. This is the new juice box flavor, which is very juicy, very tasty. Delicious. One of their wonderful, great flavors.
Mind if I try a little flavor, a little taste of that?
Yeah, you can have some wine.
Yeah, I want to try it. I want to see.
Oh my God, he's actually going to drink it out of the can.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I don't personally take it in the can, but
you might get cooties. So we'll see what happens.
It's very good.
Yes,
I have to say it's very, very tasty.
And the best part about it: 0 calories, 0 carbs, 0 crash.
Very, very good.
And if they don't have it at 7-Elevens or grocery stores. They have it at GNCs and vitamin shops. And I know you're a big weightlifter, so you go to those places.
Sometimes, yes.
Well, so I mean, you're not lately, but I understand.
Yeah.
So, but don't play full price. Go to the description in the podcast, wherever you're listening to us on podcasts, or on YouTube, and you'll get a link. 15% off a case of Ray's Energy Drink. You can get Juice Box. You can get the new ginger ale. You can get all sorts of great flavors. Baja Lime that tastes like Baja Blast from Taco Bell.
Juice Box is great.
Yes, I'll be drinking that on my birthday. That will be a birthday treat. You've never had Yoo-hoo and absinthe?
Together, no.
All right, but you have them separately.
I definitely have had them separately. I would think, if I was going to pair absinthe, I would pair it with, Ecto Cooler instead of Yoo-hoo.
You would think. Ecto Cooler is hard to find, though.
It is, and it's very old if you find it.
Right. Because they have Yoo-hoo at Dollar Tree. You can find that pretty easy. And I was telling somebody about this, and they were like, yeah, Yoo-hoo, does the milk? And I'm like, there's no milk in Yoo-hoo.
No, there is not. It is chocolate drink.
Mm-hmm.
Chocolate non-dairy drink. I think is how they describe it on bottle or can.
But you're very, the Halloween is our time.
It is. I'm so happy.
Yeah. So let me start with this general question. Now, what made you respond to this and say I'm the perfect guest to be on the Dark Mark show for Halloween month?
Well, I mean, I am a huge horror fan. I was born and raised a horror fan by my mother.
And you are a Scream Queen. I didn't mention that.
Oh, yeah. I've been in a few Halloween franchises. I'm not sure if you could call... I was told that Addams Family is not a horror film. But...
No. Well, this is what I want to get to. Because
I was like, I think it kind of is a horror film.
That's such a horror movie. No, you got so much cred with our audience because you were in Addams Family.
Yes. Yeah. So I was in both the Addams Family movies, and I consider them horror films, but somebody will correct me inevitably, just like some of my other stuff.
Trust me, they get the Goss seal of approval. The Goss seal of approval.
I get a lot of debates on some of my credits. I was in the Die Hard movie, and I had a huge fight with somebody about whether it's a Christmas movie, and I was like, okay.
Well, weren't you in Die Hard 2, though?
I was in Die Hard 2.
So that's not a Christmas movie, is it?
I literally am in the movie singing a Christmas song, so I would say, yeah.
Which Christmas song?
Carol of the Bells.
Okay. Is that before or after you puked on Bruce Willis?
That was the filming of that.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So tell, now, we've all been tempted to puke on Bruce Willis one time or another. How did this come about?
Well, I was on the set of Die Hard 2, and I got sick on set. Later realized I had chickenpox, but...
Oh, shit.
So you probably gave Bruce Willis chickenpox.
Well, nobody else got it, it seems like. People kept coming... it was the age of, people bringing their kids over when you had chickenpox to, give them chickenpox. I was really sick, and people kept coming over, and I was like, why is this happening? Leave me alone.
Right.
But, I guess a couple days before I really got it, I was... we were filming at LAX, actually LAX.
Right.
And I was really sick, and he and my mom came up to me, and they're like, listen, if you can't really pull through, no pressure, but if you can't...
No pressure.
No pressure.
There's only a $50 million movie riding on you.
If you can't, we have to scrap this whole scene.
Right.
And I just threw up everywhere. I threw up on my mom. I threw up on him. I threw up on some production assistants. And then I was like, yeah, let's go film it.
Did he have his usual trademark smirk when you puked on him?
He was very sweet. I think he was very concerned. I was very young, and I think anything negative I've ever heard about him, I'm always like, that is not my experience.
Okay.
He's such a sweetie. But I was also a kid. I will say that.
Yeah, so you have to be under 10 for Bruce Willis to behave.
Maybe, or but I also didn't know who he was at all.
Right.
And so I was just like, why is this man in my face when I'm sick? But yeah, I mean, awkward celebrity encounters are my thing, I guess.
Well, I also read that you had an aversion to wearing tights on the Addams Family, but Raul Julia, who apparently was very good with kids.
So sweet. You're the nicest man.
Tell Nicole this story. This is interesting.
So the thing that people forget about kid actors is that we're still kids. We're still kids. And I, in the first movie, was put in this ridiculous flower costume where I had to wear basically tights and a flower head dress and whatever. And I hate tights. To this day, I hate tights. But I threw a slight tantrum. This is probably the only tantrum I've ever thrown on set. And Raul Julia had lunch with me and talked to me about what it's like to be an actor and how we're going to be put in certain circumstances. And he was just such a sweet man. He got me to wear those tights.
Wow.
And I don't think I look that thrilled in the movie still, I will say, but it kind of works because we're all in a weird talent show, so I feel like it's okay.
See, I got to rewatch the Addams Family and the Addams Family values. So.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was so fun. I just remember in the first film being because you have to go to school on set, and so we were in school. And we, and Christina Ricci came in and they couldn't take that prosthetic off. So it was just squirting blood while we were taking our teaching, hours.
Oh, that's great.
And yeah, they were just like, stop looking at her. Cannot. I am mesmerized, and why don't I?
Yeah, there's somebody gushing blood while you're doing your math.
And I'm like, I don't want to do any of this. I just want to watch her squirt blood, and if you could put me in one, that'd be great.
Right.
Was there anything you absolutely would not do as an actor?
Oh, I mean, porn.
Sure about that?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, all right.
I used to work at Hustler, and I got plenty of offers.
Oh, we'll get to that. But was Christina Ricci cool? I mean, you guys were kids then, and
yeah, I've never. She was always so sweet. I never have anything bad to say about her.
That's a very diplomatic answer.
No, it's true. Like I could talk about some of the people I ran into, but
oh really?
She was really sweet.
Do tell.
I mean,
come on, let's get some dirt. Come on, we want this to go on TMZ.
This is not horror.
We'll get to horror. Don't worry about it. But we want this to go viral. So
one of the jerkiest guys to me, I think, was like Frankie Muniz.
Oh, Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah, he used to call me fat all the time. And at this time, like I was like, I'm a curvy girl now, but at the time I was maybe a size 2, maybe.
What?
I was so
And how old were you at this time?
I was like 16, 17. I was like a bobblehead. I was just like one curly fro with like boobs and a butt and then just a stick everywhere. I was like the thinnest thing, but he loved to call me fat.
Why?
I don't know. He got beat up
because he liked you. Because he liked you.
Maybe. My boyfriend at the time was just always like, I'm gonna punch you in the face now. He's like, fat.
It's like, when you're a teenager, and I'm assuming he was about the same age.
Yeah.
So when you're that age, like when you like a girl and you're awkward and you don't know how to handle it, you're like, you start giving them insults. It's like a roast battle. It's a roast battle. This is why most guys are really bad at dating, because that's all they know how to do.
Roast battles, but.
Yes. I don't know. It depends on the guy. Trust me, I've seen some shitty roast battles.
I am definitely shitty at roast battles in general.
No, here's the weird thing, because I love roasts. I love roasting people, and I'm really good at it. The roast battle, no, I'm not going to do it today.
I'm scared. Very squishy. Very squishy.
And by the way, Frankie Muniz is coming in the room, so I'm going to roast him. But the roast battle format, it's too limiting to me. And to me, when I see really good roasters, when I look at, the Comedy Central roast, when you see Gilbert Gottfried just go off on these weird tangents, when you see Greg Giraldo just annihilate people. Even if you go back to Don Rickles and Pat Cooper and the legends, like they built and built and built and built and built and built to the end where they just demolish somebody. The roast battle is just like, okay, I do one joke, you do one joke, I do one joke, and it's like it's silly. But I always do well. But every time I've done a roast battle, I've lost every roast battle. But there's two reasons. I'm wearing ghostly goth makeup. So I'm basically writing the jokes for the other person.
That's true.
And the second is I'm always on the funniest roast battle of the night every time I've done roast battle. So if I lose, it's like, okay, well, I lost, but I still was funnier than any other roast battle, so that's fine. If I got the funniest roast battle, I don't give a shit if I win or lose.
I mean, that's fair. I've only been on a few, and I'm always surprised. I've gone to the second round, and I'm always like, why? Because I am not good at this, and it makes me feel bad.
Well, you don't seem like a mean person like myself, but
I try not to be, and I mean, I can, if you mess with somebody I love, probably be very sharp tongue, but just in general, like I'm not
right.
That I don't know.
And
the only bullying I ever did was there's this kid.
The only bullying Nicole ever
I've
did.
done some bullying.
This kid used to call me like names and stuff, mostly slut for some reason. We were very young, so it never made sense to me that he would call me slut. Like none of us even knew how to kiss barely. But his last name was Bobby, and I'm like, okay, Ben Booby.
See,
I'm like, how do you go around your whole life teasing people with such an obvious name that can be turned into such a... I mean, it was so easy. It was just like low-hanging fruit. That's the only kid I've ever...
Well, you realize you would have gotten the second round of a roast battle with that one.
Ben Booby.
Ben Booby.
There was a kid in high school that used to call me a wigger, which I hate. First of all,
well, because you're African American.
Yeah, I'm half black, and
honestly, That is kind of funny.
It's so, but here's the thing. I'm like, if you're gonna come at me, either come at me like Krieger, so I know you're really bad. You're really coming at me. You're coming at me with bad words, or whack. Like I'm white and black. But he would always call me a wigger. It drove me crazy. And his last name is Sweeney, so he just became Sweeney, microscopic weenie, and I had this huge song about it, and everyone was like, "You're so mean," and I was like, "Do you realize calling me a wigger is not nice? It's one step away from the N-word."
Right.
Yeah.
No, I get it. Yeah.
So, and he was just like, everyone was like, "It's just so mean. You're attacking his manhood." And I'm like, okay.
But the only reason I thought it was funny is just like I said, you're African American. Just the irony of that.
Right.
Not that he was
also
calling
the
you.
terminology is used for people usually that don't have black in them.
Right. Exactly.
And I love to have black in me.
Right. Oh, I'll make a note of that. But and he should not have picked on somebody who was in musical theater since they were a kid.
Correct.
And that's a great story. You and your parents.
I made up a Ben Booby song.
You can make it up now. Go ahead.
Okay.
Let's collaborate. Ben Booby, Ben Booby, Ben Booby. You really don't move me. Yes. Your weenie small. Anyway, so I don't know.
I loved that part.
Yeah. I'm trying to think who had a smaller weenie, the Ben Booby or the Wigger guy. I'm trying to figure that out.
Sweeney, microscopic.
Sweeney, microscopic. Yeah, microscopic.
It's microscopic.
I think they both have microscopic weenies. And,
yeah, probably.
But they'll both be probably masturbating to the show with their microscopic weenies.
I don't know what happened to Ben. Never saw him again.
Right. Oh, he's listening to you right now.
Yes, he's
that was like 7th grade. And like I said, we were barely kissing anybody at that point. Yeah. It was so weird to me.
You know what the irony is?
Funny how they do that?
Yeah.
Men do, like, boys do that to us, like, very early. It's usually us developed girls or that, like, go through, like, a goth phase or something like that. All at once we're sluts.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm like, I haven't even touched a wiener.
Which is so weird because the goth girls actually have something else going on and other interests besides fashion and trying to attract men.
Yeah.
They're actually into witchcraft and other things and goth music and all sorts of things. So, and usually a lot more literate, a lot smarter, and a lot more interesting.
Reading all the time. I love books.
But
like, leave me alone. I'm reading Edgar Allan Poe for the 100th time.
and as you should.
Fuck off.
But
I didn't even ask if I could curse. Oops.
No, we encourage profanity.
Okay.
But
I was like, oops.
we started. You already went with the microscopic weenie, so it's.
Oh yeah, is that a curse word, weenie?
It's something that might need to be censored. I'm not sure.
Not on this show.
Not on this show.
Okay, I was like, I don't know.
Oh, and yeah, we had a lot of weird. Yeah, we've already.
Did they say Oscar Mayer wiener on?
Yeah, but that's Oscar Mayer wiener. They can't say, "Oh, your wiener is small," or they can now. I mean, they can say pretty much anything except for the shit, fuck, and a few things. But
yeah.
I think they can now on network TV, like after 10 or something. But I think the F word you still can't.
Yeah, I think the F word still.
But nobody watches network TV. It's only old farts, but everybody's streaming. So
I guess I don't watch anything on network TV.
Yeah,
nobody does, or even cable TV anymore. Really, it's everything on streaming.
Yeah. And streaming services pride themselves in having foul language. Like they want their stuff to be more dramatic.
Exactly. So like even I think Breaking Bad was like the last, or Better Call Saul was like the last cable show that people were like, oh, I can't wait to see this. And people watch Law and Order and stuff, but it's just habit at this point.
I mean, we just watch it for Christopher Maloney.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't? But but that's the thing. Now you started really early, and this is a great story because you were with your parents. You were 3 years old.
No, yeah.
Tell Nicole the story. This is great.
Get me canceled. No, just kidding. We were at a theme park that we'll call, I'll just say it, SeaWorld. Everyone's going to get mad. But anyway, we were at SeaWorld before we knew.
Fuck SeaWorld.
It's before we knew.
No, I have a problem with SeaWorld.
I'm sure everyone has a problem with SeaWorld.
No. It has nothing to do with humanitarian. Okay. I mean, I have a problem with that. But when I was 17, I went with my friends, my best friends, the Ryan brothers, and we all applied for a job. They had a big job fair, and they fed everybody. It was a whole thing, right? Thousands of people there. They got hired. I did not. I ended up waiting tables at Denny's, and I was waiting on this girl who worked for SeaWorld. She's like, "You've got such a great work ethic. You should come work for SeaWorld." I'm like, funny you should mention that. So But so you're at SeaWorld.
I'm at SeaWorld watching the Shamu show. I'm not watching it because I'm a 3-year-old that is ridiculous, and I start singing and tap dancing instead of watching the show.
Okay.
And then the whale, like, just does one of those, like, huge jumps.
Right.
And everyone applauds, and I just assumed the applause was for my show and for the whale, and I took a bow. And my mom was like, we need to get her an agent. And basically, like, the next week, I basically got a manager, and I started working pretty much after that.
See, and that's the thing now. You're a former child star.
Sure. I'll take star.
Well, I mean, you were in Die Hard. You were in Addams Family, Malcolm in the Middle. I mean, it's funny. This is what I want to get at, because when I go on your IMDb, you have none of that listed.
I know, because I changed my name.
Okay, so if I go Stacey Washington, then
yeah, so
I would have found the mother lode.
When I was a kid, they changed my name like 3 or 4 times, because it was the age of like trying to, like, they really tried. I mean, they package you now, but they tried to package you back then, and I'm half black, and I didn't know what to do with that, and they changed my name like so many times. And it doesn't matter because all of the checks cash, and, and all the names. So,
well, that's the main thing.
And that's the main thing. But yeah, I get weird, like SAG. SAG has an app where we get our residuals, and it's just like, it'll just be like this name and this name. And people be like, what is that? I was like, well, that was me too.
Now, are you trying to erase your child's past, or?
No, I just don't think that there's any need to like it's my past. I'm freely able to talk about it, but also it's like I don't have to if I don't want to.
Right. Well, you've accomplished so much as an adult, and we're going to get to that. I know we've talked about it for 20 minutes, but how were you able to become a healthy adult with that?
Oh, thank you for calling me a healthy adult.
Well, you're a comedian, so that there's a limit. But
I think I had a really good mother. She's weird like me, very like horror centric woman.
Okay.
Really like, she is like the most interesting woman probably you'll have ever met, but she also really has always been there for me. And
right.
If I ever wanted to quit, it was never pushed on me. If I wanted to quit, she was like, you don't have to do this. I mean, I remember like coming out of auditions or just like having a really bad, like I was in this TV show, and then the TV show went on, but I was in the pilot and they cut my part, and trying to explain that to a kid is real hard, and I like took it really hard. And my mom was like, well, you don't have to do this anymore. You don't have to go to another audition. And I was like, no, just let me cry. And I'm still like this. I'm like, just let me have the moment to cry. And then I'm going to go on and just do more stuff. But I just needed that moment to cry. And I think she really understood that about me. She still understands that about me, with stand-up, we have that all the time. Like where we're like, God, do I need to do this? Do I want to do this anymore? It's so hard. And you cry a little bit and then you go on stage.
Wow.
What are the best and worst parts of being an actor?
I love collaborating. I love, and I think coming from like a childhood of like movies and TV, like I loved being on set with different people all the time. So I love getting to know people. I love just like being in new environments.
Except for Frankie Muniz.
I love being in different environments. I love meeting new people. I love trying new things. I'm very much like that. So that to me is like the best because it really like lights me up.
Okay.
The worst part, I guess, it's just the rejection, and I think everybody takes it their own way. But we always get so rejected, but it's not a rejection of you. It feels like a rejection of you sometimes. And especially for people that are multi-hyphenate or, writers or everything, you put yourself out there so many times, and that's great. But then that means that some of the times it's going to be a no, and it's so hard.
Right.
But then I have to remind myself, I'm like, that I get so many no's and I get so many yeses. And the reason I get so many no's is because I've put myself out there so many times. And God, does it hurt, but at least like I tried,
Sure.
But it's hard. I don't know, like my niece is starting to act too, and she's doing pretty good. And yeah, I just like explaining that to like a young girl. It's hard. It's hard.
Well, she must have worshipped you when she was a kid.
Oh, I had a good worship period. Now she's 13. I'm not that cool. Every once in a while she says something to me, and like she'll be like give me a compliment, and I'm like, oh my God, it's the biggest deal now.
Right.
Actually, that scene that I was in the Addams Family, last year she had like, she's a dancer, and all the dancers had to do clips of like movies that they wanted to do and like do these concepts of dances. And I went and watched one of her shows, and I'm watching, and one of the groups chose that scene.
Okay.
And my sister just like turned around, and my niece turned around, and they're like, oh my god, there you are. And I was like, yeah, but
so was your niece playing your part?
No, they literally took clips from movies, and then they I was up there, they put me up there, and it wasn't her group. It was a completely other dance group that she was competing against. She did The Purge, they did Addams Family.
What kind of school is this?
Well,
they're 12 doing The Purge?
Yeah, well, it was a Halloween choreography challenge.
I get that, but
I mean,
there's family friendly. Addams Family is appropriate. You could do. I mean, there's PG-13. There's PG-13.
What's wrong with
you want 12-year-olds doing The Purge?
I mean, I watched The Shining at 3, so I can't really say anything.
But
The Purge, you think is worse?
Did somebody do Saw? I mean, what happened? Probably, right?
Nobody did the Saw movie.
Hostel? I mean, any of these?
No, I think the worst. And they didn't even see The Purge. They used The Purge, announcement. Yeah, they did that, and then they were all in neon masks. I don't think any of them had actually seen The Purge.
Right.
I'll remedy that.
Yeah, they'll be purging this Halloween. They'll be knocking on everybody's door and
it's an education. Them. Okay.
Right. Well, I mean, we're a couple years away from the purge in real life anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But the one thing
scary.
I don't. That's the real scare. I don't even want to get into that. But you, being your racial ambiguity must be an advantage.
It can be. I've also gotten into really bad situations with it. So I tend to say it right up front.
Like the time that you went to a neo-Nazi's birthday party? Yeah,
that was really not a good situation. They found out because my dad had dropped me off that night and nobody had seen my dad. My dad was always super busy. He was getting his degree and he was working and stuff like that. And for some reason, I don't know why, he dropped me off at this party. And they just kept going, is that your biological kid? And he's like, yeah. And then he left to come back later. And I was just it was crazy.
Now, when you say neo-Nazi, now it's funny because I know this isn't your one-woman show, but did you know this was a neo-Nazi, or was the family neo-Nazi? Was a kid neo-Nazi? I mean, or is it just? It was just
at that age. I absolutely didn't.
Right. Or is this just a prejudiced family?
No, they were flag wearing, in their house, not at school. I was sitting under Nazi flags. There was pictures of Hitler. I don't know any of that stuff when I was a kid, but now I recognize what it was because it's so vivid to me, that whole situation. And then the next day at school, they really solidified it by her and her sister tried to beat me up and called me the N-word actually not for the first time, because my dad called me the N-word all the time, but in the first negative way.
Wait a second. Now go back. Now,
in your family, in a black family, you're called the N-word all the time. It's a term of endearment.
Okay.
So when somebody said it to me negatively, I was so confused.
Right.
I had to have a conversation with my dad, and he's like, "Don't let people call you." And I was like, "I'm sorry. What are you doing?"
That must make father-daughter dances awkward.
Yeah, well, no.
Okay,
great.
All right.
But yeah, no, it's something, I guess, I don't know another culture that maybe does that, but the black culture definitely, we call each other it.
Not everybody.
Not everybody, but most of the black family members I know use it.
Okay, all right. That's
yeah, and I don't personally use it.
How did your father find out about this house? Why would he drop you off there?
Oh, because they thought you were white.
They thought I was white.
And they were friends with you.
Yeah, they were friends at school.
Oh, okay.
So, and also, I kind of found out, too, because I wasn't the only mixed kid in class.
Right. When I say they thought you are part white, but I'm just saying they thought you were completely white.
But there was two other mixed kids in the class, but they were darker skin and more obviously mixed, and they weren't invited. but all the white kids were. None of us knew that until like my dad came back. I told him what happened. Him and my mom had some major words with the family, and yeah, it's big.
But tell her the bottom line is you didn't get cake.
I didn't get cake. Yeah, they did not serve me cake, and
I see.
It was horrible.
Was the cake white?
Angel food?
No, because I didn't get any. I think it was just like a Costco Costco cake, which also I really love Costco cake. So
right. So it wasn't a white cake; it was a white trash cake.
It was a white trash cake, but the kind of white trash cake that I adore.
Yeah, you would have eaten it if you were served it.
Yeah, I would have
on a Nazi plate.
Well.
Did the girls continue to like attack you at school?
So they got in real big trouble for beating me up, and the N-word, and they eventually moved to Bakersfield.
Huh.
Well, I guess yeah.
Where are their people?
Good for them, and they're probably listening to the show now, along with the
Sterling. I'm just kidding. That's not her name.
Sterling.
It's totally her name.
Yeah.
Sterling.
Oh my goodness! But
Sterling and Ava, you're out there.
Yeah, Sterling and Ava. Fuck you, and we want some cake.
Yeah, send me a cake.
Yeah, that's the least I could do.
I almost brought donuts to the show. I should have brought donuts. I know they were pumpkin spice donuts.
And unfortunately, we don't have a corkscrew, so it wouldn't have worked anyway. But. Now you were talking. Who's that guy? You were talking about the little kid that you were talking about.
Ben Bobby,
and you were talking about
Sweeney Microscopic Weenie.
Okay, so these guys probably have problems getting women, and if they do, what they should do is get our sponsor, Tactical Soap.
Ooh.
Tactical Soap is pheromone-infused soap. I'm not kidding. Pheromone-infused soap. They have 3 different types: Bond, Maverick, and Dirted.
No
and they have
goose.
3 different scents of that. No goose. Bond, Dirt, and Maverick. So they have 3 different scents of each. They have deodorant. They have all sorts of things. It's, first off, washing with soap and water is always a good step to getting women. But if you use Tactical Soap, even better, has pheromones, smells great. Use the code in the podcast description on Renegade Radio, Podcast Catcher, YouTube, whatever you're listening to us. Link towards that. Get some Tactical Soap, and then the women will go crazy over you. I got some on order, and so that's why you haven't jumped over the table and attacked me, but get Tactical Soap. Anyway, so
they should have that at every comic convention. I just want to encourage people.
Great.
That's what I was thinking. This is
great segue. Yeah, great. Yeah, that's a great segue because you are regular panelist at the comic book conventions and horror conventions. How do you get into that? Because I've been trying.
Have you?
Oh yeah.
Well, we should talk after.
We will.
Basically, years and years and years ago, when like the first like the nerdy boom of podcasts started happening.
Just the nerdy boom in pop culture, period.
And basically like the fact that like people were starting to listen to like nerd podcasts. Me and my friends were like, well, we're funny and we're assholes. We should put ourselves on tape saying all this asshole-ish bullshit that we say about comics. And we started a podcast called Awkward Conversations. And we were first a live radio show, which was really, really solidified the awkward.
Was that LA Talk Radio? Or was that something?
No, we were at Skid Row Studios.
Wait. We were at Skid Row Studios. Oh yes. It was a whole Thursday night block. They had Nestor Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Then us. Then David Berger.
Oh, we were before. I think they were Nerd Rage at the time. They're the greatest podcast ever.
I can't believe this. You were on.
Yeah.
That is so weird.
Crazy.
That was the best.
It was great.
Jeremy, shout out. That was the best.
And so the first few conventions we did, I just submitted us. There were smaller conventions. One was called BentCon, which was like a highly sexual Comic Con. Very
BentCon?
BentCon, and it was very LGBTQ. And like they would have like new drawings of comic book characters, and they would have like live people. It was just like a big party.
Well, pause that. New drawings of comic book characters. What comic book characters did you see, and how were their dicks?
Oh, well. There's a picture of me sitting on, like we like to call him Meth Thor because he looked like he had done meth and he had a hammer. So I think that was one of the ones that I was like, and now I look back at that picture and I'm like, oh no, why did I? Because when you're at BentCon, you're drinking and you're everyone looks so hot, and then later on you're like, oh, I took a picture with that, and now I don't. Right. But yeah, it was fun. Like everybody's like costumes were like free, whatever kind. I mean, I guess it would be kind of like a Dragon Con.
Sure.
But a little bit more risque.
Right. Wow, this is blowing my mind that you're on Skid Row Studios. It's taking me back to the days.
It's crazy.
Because
we had a booth. Skid Row Studios had a booth, and we broadcast all day from BentCon.
Man, they never called us, but it was funny because I remember like Nestor, and you remember this, Nicole. Mm-hmm. Nestor and all the iBurger guys would get in the booth because they knew I would do weird shit. Like I would have set people on fire. We would have grinders. We had somebody electrocute people. We had clowns.
You didn't
we had
have
all
anybody
sorts of stuff.
fist on your show, right?
No, that was Ginger. Ginger Lynn had that.
Okay, because we were directly after that fisting.
Oh,
okay.
shit.
And
I heard about the fisting. I heard about it.
I was just like, did you guys clean?
No, we never did a penetration. Ginger Lynn, the adult film star, had a show.
Yeah.
And I was actually on that show, and Nina Hartley gave me a hand job, but they would do stuff like that.
Yeah.
We would go up to the line, but we would never cross it.
Well, I think they didn't know what to quite do with us because we had potty mouths and we had like very big imaginations, but we weren't like that. But we stayed there for quite a while, and then we eventually went out on our own, and then we went on a couple of other like nerd websites, and I just always ask, like, I always ask conventions, like, I'll email them and be like, I have a podcast or I have some panel ideas. Do you have a panel submission format? And then they'll send it to me and I submit. The worst thing that they can say is no. It's always free to do panels, which is great because, like, it's such great publicity. I think people pay a lot to get their podcasts out there and to get word out there. And, like, one of the best things you can do is probably go to a convention that's very much centric to your likes and your genre and talk there. But, yeah.
There we go. The wheels are turning, Nicole.
Oh, yes.
Because you're a con regular.
I am, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, I would say, if you have a concept, even if you don't have a podcast, even if you have a concept, you have a film, you have a web series, like that is such great publicity and it's free publicity.
Right.
And it's usually a form and just like, you know, pitch more than one thing usually.
Right. Well, that might be my downfall.
Well, you know, sometimes
it's like it's me, take it or leave it. This is what I want to do.
Well, always be like it's me, take it or leave it. But here's a couple concepts that will fit into your programming. They could be also very similar to each other.
Right.
For some reason, one hits. I would just keep throwing things at the wall. I mean, that's just what we do as artists anyway.
but my things are usually never what everybody else is doing, which is good and bad because a lot of people are like, no, I want you to do what this person's doing. It's like, no, I'm doing my own thing. But tell any awkward con experiences, I'm sure. Yeah,
I mean, we used to have a really big BDSM brony population.
What con is this?
We used to go to, I think it was Phoenix Comic Con, and we had a huge like fan base that was bronies, but like hardcore BDSM bronies.
Yeah, because I've been trying to get bronies on the show forever.
I can see if they used to like, it was so funny because like I was like the only
bronies are kind of out now. Like they kind of I thought they were gonna stay forever. But they've kind of faded away.
They would, but they didn't. I don't know if they're even still bronies anymore, but we would go to that con, and it would be so funny because, like, the guys would get, like, the most respectful, like, they'd be like, can I take a picture with you? Can I get a signature? And then I would get, like, hey, we're starting something upstairs, and we'd really like to just, like, human centipede with you. And I'd be like, thank you so much for coming to our panel.
Did they get that? What episode of My Little Pony did they get that from?
I don't know. I mean, it would just be like, you know, there's going to be like 4 of us guys. And I'm like, no. I'm so sorry, but thank you for the offer. Right.
Because, I was trying to explain.
Do you want to offer them any of that?
I remember one time I tried to explain bronies to my father, and it was a hard concept for someone
and
like
Pegasisters. We can't forget the
Pegasisters. We know Pegasisters. Yeah. Actually, one of our one of our friends who's a Pegasus sister, Danny Danger, will be on later this month.
Oh,
and
nice.
She's from Phoenix, so you probably come across her.
Yeah, I mean,
And-
Phoenix Comic Con started out like so like small, and then it just blew up. It's a pretty big con now.
The nerds took over Phoenix.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good sized con now.
Great.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Well, I think every con is. Now, that's the thing, because the nerds took over the world.
Yep.
They said,
And if they're so smart, what took them so long?
We had to grow up.
yeah, and stopping like stuff.
You're not a nerd, Nicole. You never were.
I've read every Buffy book. I've read almost every Star Wars book. I have read all the Harry Potter books. I read.
That's mainstream.
It wasn't when
Now.
I was.
Oh, okay.
Well, I used to be made fun of for Buffy.
I would get in so much trouble for being
yeah.
in my room reading books, isolating, when I should be hanging out with the people watching The Real World, which I never wanted to watch because everybody was into reality TV when I was growing up for some reason.
Yeah, no, we
Was that
used to
your
have
experience too?
Oh yeah, we used to have there was a group of us nerds that would meet up in the
I played
morning.
Yu-Gi-Oh! The fucking card game.
Okay, well, now you're getting somewhere. I'll give you that.
No, but liking Buffy, liking X-Files
Yeah,
as much as I did.
it was not cool
It was
when we were
not
kids.
cool. I was creepy. I was slutty. I don't know why it made me slutty, but I was slutty. Yeah.
The truth is out there. I don't know how.
I mean, it's not, the truth is not like that I'm
Yeah,
promiscuous.
it definitely wasn't cool.
Right.
And
But are you
really
comfortable in
become-
your sexuality?
I'm very comfortable in my sexuality. I mean, people I think I also explored Wicca. I took witchcraft classes in my teens.
Okay.
And stuff like that, and people just thought I was weird, and I probably was, but I was also going through a lot, and I just that's the way I functioned.
Right.
But yeah, no, I'm comfortable in my sexuality. People could throw anything at me, and I'm like, I know who I am.
Right.
And I know.
But you're not comfortable being in a room with 4 bronies, and who is really?
I mean, I'm not comfortable being in the room with 4 bronies. I'm just not.
That want to human centipede you. Yes.
I mean, honestly, unfortunately, I'm very demisexual. I just am.
Okay.
I'm very openly freaky with one person.
Right.
That is my thing.
Has that always been your thing?
It's okay, I'm not into group sex either.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think I would probably.
I'm not trying to propose anything. I'm just curious.
No, it has always been the case. I think sometimes I felt bad about it. I felt like a lot of people did the opposite. Oh, you just I have so many girlfriends that were like, just fuck guys, and I'm like, no, it's really not my thing. I really have to connect with them, and once I connect with them, that's. It's crazy. I will do so much. And, even I would do, maybe a threesome or something, but only with my partner.
Right.
And with somebody that we picked together. I'm not.
No, but you have to have a say in it, because you can't have the guy pick, because he's always going to pick wrong.
No, I know. I had one of my exes was a twin, and he always thought that was.
Oh, no.
And I was always like, I think you think this is going to be a great idea, and it's going to be such a horrible, horrible idea for you. Also, I can always tell the difference between the two of them, and they used to try
Oh my god.
to confuse me, and I'm like, I know which one I sleep with.
Oh, that's
You
hilarious.
know what I mean? I know every curve, honey. I'm very thorough sexually, so I
Okay.
know.
All right.
So yeah, no, I mean, I think I'm open sexual. I think I'm open. I explore. I'm but I just really am very much about connection and trust, and that's okay to know about yourself.
Absolutely.
Well, the reason I ask is because being comfortable with your sexuality, and obviously at an early age, I think that's what threw men off.
Maybe, yeah.
And that's why we're calling you a slut, even though you were not.
Yeah, I was like, you wish, because I would have sex with you then, and
Right.
I'm not.
Right.
I waited until I was in love to have sex.
Right. We were just talking about that before the show. I sometimes have dated more than one person at once.
Yeah.
Never works out. I'm, and it's weird because I know people, and just people are wired different ways. Some people like to fuck around, and people like to have relationships, or really like to
And all is
focus
valid.
on one person. Yeah,
All
there's
is
nothing.
valid as long as you're
Right.
communicating with the people that are involved.
Some people are gay, some people are straight, some people are bi, some people are
I
non-binary,
usually
whatever.
sleep with one person at a time. I just prefer.
Are you demisexual?
No.
Okay.
No, I mean, I'm a physical person. If I'm physically attracted to you, that's what makes me want to have sex with you. Which is why I have sex with. I don't have sex often. I mean, when I find someone that I'm physically attracted to, we have sex a lot. But there'll be seasons where I'm waiting to meet somebody I'm physically attracted to. So
Yeah, that's how I am too. It's like it's funny because like I think people that have had all these different sexual partners think that they've had more sex than me. I'm like, no, because you're like one and done. Like I am a crazy sex fiend with the person I love.
I'll have sex as long as they want to. Like,
yeah.
Usually I don't. And I do friends with benefits quite often, and usually they're the ones that stop it. I'll keep having sex regularly. I don't mind. I like having sex a lot, but I have to have a physical. Like, you have to have that spark, that thing about you that makes me want to like have sex with you.
Yeah.
The hot emo boy thing.
I mean, I
you're not hot emo boys too? Real skinny Twinkie guys?
No. I mean, I think it goes. So my sexual like preferences go kind of more towards my comedy preferences more than my goth preferences.
How so?
Like when I was a kid, I thought like the ultimate man was Eddie Murphy.
Okay.
And I look for Eddie Murphy and Candyman in every man that I'm going
Okay.
for.
All right. Well, too bad Jamie's not here. She could tell you stories. We have a friend that was one of his trans escorts, but yeah, so that's a whole thing. I'll send you the show. It'll be something.
I would love that.
Yeah, so it's a lot. There's a lot to it, but yeah, I mean, he's a good-looking guy.
Yeah.
Apparently, nine inch penis too.
Thank you for saying that, because every time I say I'm attracted to Eddie Murphy, people are like, weird. And I'm like, that's not weird. The weird one that I'm attracted to.
I mean, he's like 60 now, so I could see somebody that's a teenager saying, or in their 20s saying, oh, he's an old man. But when he was younger, he's like the first comedy sex symbol, really.
Yeah, people gave me shit. Like, people will be like, young Eddie Murphy, too? And I'm like, yeah.
Especially young Eddie
Murphy. People give me shit. Now, I know there are certain people that I'm attracted to that 100% it's a weird one, and I will...
then now, who are you thinking about now? I see it. Come on, tell me.
So I have like a really weird attraction to Steve Buscemi. Like, really.
Everybody does. Everybody.
No, they don't.
No, so many girls are like, oh, Steve Buscemi's hot.
He's so freaking hot.
No, I know so many girls that are like, oh, Steve Buscemi's hot, but
attractive. He's not my type, but he is attractive.
But here's the thing: if a guy came up to you that looked exactly like Steve Buscemi, but was not Steve Buscemi, and he was just some dude on the street.
No, that's what Steve's got. He's got that like.
No, but if Steve Buscemi's twin, who was an accountant, came up to you, you'd be like, ew.
I don't know if it's the celebrity. I think it's just like the kind
of the way he carries himself.
Well, it's the personality, it's the acting, it's all that. But
and he's like a really good dude.
No, he is.
He's like a really fucking good dude.
He's a great actor. He's very
the way he carries himself is like really unique. I think he does definitely have some sort of quality that's just unique to him.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of girls that are like, oh, Steve Buscemi's hot. But if a guy that looks like Steve Buscemi came up to them, they're like, ew.
Well, it's kind of like Jeff Goldblum. Jeff Goldblum just has this thing.
Jeff Goldblum's the sexiest man alive. Every woman's like, I love Jeff Goldblum. You're the only one that you and my mother are the only two that are like.
I went to Playhouse West. I'm good.
Okay. So you met him in person?
Yeah, he that's his
acting class. So because you've met him, the shine is off.
I mean, yeah, I don't get it.
Do you have any good Jeff Goldblum stories? I want to hear this.
I don't know why people find him attractive, even when I met him.
He's very charming. When I met him, he also sang the Canadian national anthem to my friend because she was visiting from Canada. It was very charming.
I mean, there's just nothing attractive about him to me. I don't know. It's just.
But he's kind of like Steve Buscemi, but a little better looking and a little better shape.
Cocky. Yeah. He's a little bit. I don't really.
He's kind of the alpha Steve Buscemi.
He is, and I would rather just Steve Buscemi.
You want beta Steve Buscemi?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm fine with that.
Okay. So Eddie Murphy, Steve Buscemi. I'm sensing a pattern here.
Are you?
No, I'm kidding, of course, but.
I don't see the pattern.
No, I'm kidding. Well, the connection. Tom Jones is
he's amazing. Also,
but I'll tell you,
he was black for the majority of my childhood.
Well, if you never saw him, I could see that.
No, I saw him.
But if you saw, I don't know. I mean, there's probably something there, but there's probably.
He's Welsh.
But I mean, there's probably something twice removed because he's always got But it's funny when you see. I went down a YouTube rabbit hole. And he has like his old shows, and he's singing with Smokey Robinson and Temptations. It's like, dude, this guy's got soul.
Yeah, you don't want to see me at a concert there.
Oh, really? Your panties are on stage?
Yeah, they sure are.
So, but here's the common denominator between Eddie Murphy,
okay,
Steve Buscemi, and Tom Jones.
Okay.
Number one, they're all smart.
Yes.
Number 2, they're all funny.
Yes.
Number 3, they're all talented.
Yes. That's all I want in a man.
Smart.
And then I cultivate it, and I'll cook him whatever meal he wants and fuck him until he falls asleep. That's all I want in life.
Smart, funny, talented.
Smart, funny, and talented. And what I want
have
for
you
that man.
have you dated comedians because they're smart, funny, and talented?
I have.
And disaster
it
or no?
Didn't work out.
This is what I'm telling
single.
Nicole.
Yeah. Now, Mark has a rule. He doesn't want to date comedians.
I don't date comedians, and trust me, that's tempting because it's hard now because every other woman is a comedian, but it's too narcissist. First off,
I guess.
Well, you want to be on stage by yourself telling your story. Obviously, I'm not saying narcissist in a bad way. I'm saying you want the attention on you.
Yeah,
you want to be the star.
I guess what really went wrong in our relationship with me and the comedian was that I kind of took a back seat to my stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
And I started like promoting his stuff and doing his website and doing his this and doing his stuff, and he got real big-headed about that, about where he was in life, and didn't think he needed me anymore.
Oh, so you lifted him up to the point that he's like, I'm above you now. Yeah. Even though he would have never got there without you.
Right, and has since not been doing well.
Well, of course he's not, because it was you.
Well, just come home, baby.
Do you want him to come home?
Oh, God, yeah.
Really?
I do. I love that man.
Okay.
I would make him meatloaf the day he came back.
Wow.
Roll him a joint.
Okay. All right. Eddie Murphy, come back.
I'm such a demisexual, like, solid, like, loyal motherfucker. Like, I can't help it.
Well, he's
tried.
He's a lucky man. It sounds like, as with every beautiful woman, he doesn't deserve you.
Oh, that's
you go out with somebody that is, that's every beautiful woman goes out with assholes. It just seems.
I try not to. I tried real hard.
Well, people say that, and we talk about this on the show almost weekly. Nicole.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but they're nice at the beginning.
That's the problem. They're nice at the beginning, and they're also they have a swagger or something cool about them.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
But they wear a good mask in the beginning.
Right. But Anastasia, you've been a delight.
Oh, thanks for having me.
And tell us everything you got going on.
Oh, well, I have a couple of films coming out. Deadhead is making the festival rounds. So is Inner Demons, which will be out and streaming. And if you have the Trauma app, you can watch, or Screamfest, you can watch Demon Juice, which I'm also in. Yeah, there's other stuff. Follow me on social.
We're going to have you back because we want to hear about all the trauma stuff. And
yes!
We barely got to the horror stuff, but this has been great. Thank you so much.
If you'd like to check out my poetry, you can follow me on @Nicole6Books on Instagram or NicoleH6 on Facebook, and then the link is in the bio.
And I am Goth Comedian on all social media. Everybody, have a wonderfully creepy week. We had such a great time. What energy in the room. Bye. Bye.